On this album. I've had a chance to sit down and listen to it, and it's absolutely fantastic. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much, man. That's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So, mate, tell us a little bit about the last 12 months, because you guys kind of started a band at a time that a lot of people would have said is one of the worst times in world history to have started a band. What's the last 12 months been like for you guys?
You're right, it hasn't been kind to us. So we sort of formed this band out of the ashes of our former band, and we just started to get everything where it should be. We just started to get some really good gigs rolling in with some really good supports, and unfortunately COVID come around and kind of shit on everything. So we've pretty much spent the next 6 months, or probably the last 9 to 12 months, reassessing our sound and going back over everything, redefining it, recording an album, and so the album's about to come out next week.
So how difficult was that to even record the album with everything that was going on? I know that New South Wales has had very different lockdowns to Victoria, but how difficult was that even to get together and record?
Yeah, it really was difficult. I think we only had maybe 2 or 3 sessions where all 3 of us could actually be in the studio together. So we recorded with Matt Clark Audio Engineering in Sydney. Matt Clark's brilliant, by the way. He made the whole process as easy as he possibly could for us. But not having everyone to contribute ideas at all times, it did make it difficult for us. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
In the end, we still kind of got what we set out to achieve. You know, it's a heavy, fast album, and that's, we wanted it to be raw. We wanted it to come out and literally be exactly how we perform it on stage. You know, we didn't want it to be like all cocked up and edited. We wanted it to be very raw and very real. So we're quite happy with what we've achieved.
Yeah. Going for that raw sound, does that actually make the recording process easier or more difficult?
Probably on our end. No, you know what? It probably makes it a little bit more easier because, if you're going to edit everything and make sure every single thing's polished and layered, and it probably would add a lot more time to the recording process.
Oh, well, so tell us a little bit about what's inspired this album as well. Like, there's some amazing tracks on there, but what was inspiring those tracks, especially when it comes down to themes and things like that?
A lot of it was just like we're all good mates, like we've all been mates and in the same sort of friend circles for years, and so a lot of it was just jokes and inside jokes and us literally just having a few beers and saying, hey, we should write a song about this will be funny, and so we don't take ourselves too seriously. It's all a bit tongue in cheek.
Yeah, you did have a song on there though that was about COVID-19 and the lockdowns and everything that we were going through. That really did take a bit more of a serious side though, especially with what people were going through at that time.
It certainly did, and we tried to portray that in the film clip a little bit. That literally this is what's happening to people, and Jason, the main character in the film clip, like he lost his job. He was already doing it hard financially. He ends up losing everything, and then sort of taking it out on society. And that's where we come into it. And our role in it, we were pretty much all in lockdown, so we're all individually doing what we were doing in that situation, like being locked in your own house. So, Scotty's there drinking his beer and playing his video games, and Luke's like working on his car and his motorbike, and I'm pretty much just in my house playing my bass, crossing out gigs because COVID keeps ruining our tours. We tried to sort of portray not only what we were going through, but like what society was going through at that time.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with your tour at the moment because of these bloody lockdowns again, but are you guys excited about having the opportunity to get out there and play the tracks off this album live when you can?
Nah, we can't wait. Like, we're going to announce later on today that our Adelaide and Melbourne shows are going to be postponed, and it's a kick in the guts after all the time and effort, and that not only went into booking the shows and booking the venues and getting the supports, but the effort that we led to getting up to this point, and it is a bit of a kick in the guts. So we can't wait till we can get out, especially because we play in Sydney quite regularly now. So we're really keen to get out to the rural parts of Australia, or the more sort of the places you wouldn't often see gigs, and also travel interstate. We're so keen. We've got some great supports lined up, and I guess it's all just kind of pending at the moment.
Yeah. How difficult is that not knowing? I mean, I think today's probably been the day that I've been the most frustrated with the lockdowns, when our premiers come out and said that, well, I can't tell you if the lockdown's going to end or if it's going to be extended, because to me, I don't even know whether I'm going to work on Wednesday or not. Like, it's such a weird kind of thing. Yeah, it's such a weird thing. But how frustrating is that for you guys, that things just change at a whim like that?
It is. It's seriously frustrating, and it makes it hard to prepare for the future because you just don't know what it's got in store.
Yeah. If the lockdown does last longer for you guys, what will you guys spend the time doing? Will you start working almost on the next album?
Yeah, in fact, we have. That's exactly what we've discussed. We're just going to go in and rewrite another album, make it heavier, more brutal, and yeah, I guess we'll just have to do the same thing we did last time.
Yeah. One of the other things I wanted to ask you about too was the artwork on this album. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm looking at it right now, and it's the kind of thing that I want on my wall. Tell us a little bit about that artwork and who did that for you guys.
Okay, so we seen this guy. I've just come across him on Instagram, and he's worked with some massive bands, Fire Arts Murder. There's a bunch. Like I can't even right now name them all. But he's seriously worked with a lot of people in the industry, Cannibal Corpse. And I come across him on Instagram, and I contacted him and pretty much told him what we wanted, and he said, he'd be happy to help. And so 666 Design, I think he works out of South America, but Marco, he's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and it's such amazing artwork. Are you guys going to have any merch and stuff that's going to have that on it? Because I'd be the first one to buy it, I've got to admit.
You legend. Yeah, so we've got pretty much all our merch will be released. It's all kind of getting prepared now for the tour that's pending. So, T-shirts, hoodies, stubby coolers, yeah, all the aboves.
Awesome. And I also wanted to talk about the release itself. You guys have got it coming out on vinyl and cassette, and I got to say, I am a bit of a sucker for buying a cassette. What led to the idea about bringing this one out on cassette?
Well, we kind of, a lot of this, I can't take credit for it. We've signed with Grindhead Records for this release, and Bubsy, he's sort of been around for a while, and he knows what it sells, basically. He knows, basically, everyone listens to music digitally these days. Like, there's not much, no one's running out and buying CDs and albums anymore, except for collectors, and luckily, like, metalheads are quite big on collecting vinyl and cassette, so... in saying that, as a band, we're not looking at selling 1 million albums. Like, we're happy for people just to be streaming it and listen to it. As long as people are enjoying it, that's all we really want out of it.
Yeah. And how do you feel now that the album's about to come out? Like, are you kind of nervous, or are you excited that this beast is finally going to get out there for people to hear?
Man, a bit of both, hey? Like, we've worked on it. Like, the album's been completed since last year, so we've sort of sat on it for close to 12 months now already. And it's sort of like we just want it out there already so we can move on to the next one. But we've been looking forward mostly to touring it, and that's sort of where we're at the moment. We're just hoping our later dates can proceed and we can get up to Queensland and play all these other shows. We've got some wicked supports coming up. Sort of in October, November, heading into December. We just booked, we're starting to book for January already. So we're mainly looking forward to getting out on the road to tour the actual album more so than the release of the album at this point.
Awesome. Well, mate, I think we're going to play another track off the album very, very soon. So to finish up, where will people be able to grab a copy of the album if they want to grab a copy, and what would you like to say to them before they grab a copy?
Wow, that's a loaded question. So basically, you can get it anywhere. We're selling it through our Bandcamp. We're selling it through Grindhead Records Bandcamp. There's links on our on all our social medias, Facebook, Insta. So it is easy enough to find it, but it is also being released on all streaming platforms. So Spotify, Apple Music, basically anywhere you can stream music, you'll be able to find it. So go down that avenue and save yourself some money. And basically, if you're in the heavy, grindy music, like we've been heavily inspired by King Parrot and Dead Kelly and Benighted and like all these great bands. So, if you're into that kind of heavy, snap your neck music, then it's definitely worth the listen for you.
Awesome. Well, mate, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we cannot wait to see what you guys do in the future. And we also can't wait to see you guys come down here to Melbourne and do a show as well.
Oh, thanks, Dave. We are so keen to get down there, man. As soon as they let us, we'll be down there.
Awesome.